Boom. We're back. That's right. We are back. We are back after what? Like almost a week off. Let's say a week. Call it a week. We can do whatever we want. Call it a week off. Oh, it's been crazy. It's been insane. A lot of stuff going on. But I want you all to know that I am paying attention. All the questions you had. What happened? What's going on? How's Lucas? Boom. A lot of craziness. A lot of craziness last week. Of course. I know all my friends who have follow me as myself. Lucas had another seizure. It was one of those weird things. I was horribly sick. It was a whole crazy nightmare. But we got through with that. We got through that. Knock on wood. And we're good. So it's back to another lovely adventure of Transparency Agenda. Oh, so what are we going to talk about this week? Well, at least today. Today we're going to start about the RPG Escape 2017 weekend. So a lot of you people don't know what it is. I want to start out pretty big. This is a big weekend. It's kind of, last weekend. It's kind of cool. One of our local shops here, Adventure Game Store. And I got to put a link up there. I forgot to put their link. I know them all the time, so I don't think about it. Adventure Game Store. They're right here in Davie, Florida. If you've never been into Davie, Florida, it is Davie, Florida is west of Fort Lauderdale. It's one of the, I'd say, suburbs. It is a great store. The full name is Adventure Game Store and Dragon Lair. Dragon's Lair. But Dragon's Lair was the original name. They moved to Adventure Game Store now. So with that, a couple of years ago, I think this started like 3 years ago, Brian, who owns it, has been asking people to come down and have a little talk. And we've had, last year, it was with Hal Mangold, Ken Hite, and Will Heinmarch. And this year, the guys came back again for another lovely event. It was lots of fun. Good, I put the stuff in. It's a lot of typing I'm doing. Yeah. Whew. So this is Adventure Game Store on Facebook if you're getting on Facebook. And here's the event that happened. So those guys were kind enough to come down and do a great seminar on there it is. They did a great seminar on Saturday that I attended. It was really a lot of fun, very, very informative. Even if you're not, really, it's for people who are interested in gaming. But even if you're not interested in publishing, and there's a lot of that kind of information, just a lot of good stuff. So I was very, very happy to be part of it another year. Actually, we put everybody. I'll do this one at a time, and give everybody a little bit of credit. So of course. Hal was there. Hal was giving all kinds of good information. If you know anything about graphic design, Hal is one of the best guys. That was one of the best guys out there doing stuff. And Ken Hite is Ken Hite. I mean, his bio is extensive. Let's just call it like it is. And Will Heinmarch has done some amazing, amazing things. And Will and I were talking about some other cool ideas that popped up when we were having a talk. So a lot of good information. And we're talking, this is like high-end, the top-level guys. I'm not saying like these the best guys in the world, but they are pretty awesome. I mean, I kid you not. These are all pretty awesome guys, and they're friendly, and they give you a lot of good information, and a lot of just good stuff for you. That being said, Will got me, they started talking about adventure design, and Will has been talking about it for a long time, and myself. This is something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. I am a fan of adventures in the sense that I get what adventure is. Move from point A to point B, and that's the purpose of it, and that's what it plays to. But I don't think that it is the end-all to be-all, what it should be. I don't think it's been developed the way it should be. So I'm always like, how can this be different? How can we really radically change the idea? And that's how, by talking to Michael McCarthy, that we developed our whole Chronicles of the Gatekeeper idea. Now I got to write that down since we're talking about it. It's one of those things that in my head, I never really liked the concept that gaming has kind of trapped people. I don't say it like that, but trapped them in a very linear structure. It's difficult to have a surprise in an adventure. This is why adventures, this is another also issue. Adventures themselves are quite expensive, relatively speaking, for what you get. But you play it one time, usually, maybe 2 times, and it's not something that people get a lot of use of. And I think how you play is as important as what you're playing. So these are all ideas and concepts I've always kicked around in my head. And I'd say, oh, I'd like to try this, or try something different, or that, or whatever. So I got a good few minutes talking with Will, and just even just the structure of how gaming is presented and things like that. I think there's a different way to do adventures, because I said to him, and I think he agreed to, which I thought was funny and cool, was, I like the idea of the RPGA, but I don't think it's executed properly. It's not. There's something wrong with it. And I don't mean that in the sense of I think it's bad. I just think there's something wrong with the execution. The kill monster, get treasure, I get it. It's very simple. I get it. But why can't we do something different? Why can't we tell bigger stories? Why can't we have stories that change from person to person? Why can't we have one adventure played one way and then someone plays the same adventure a different way, the same adventure? It'd be more in the sense of like kind of a multiple choice setup for adventure. All right, just stay with me. This is all off the cuff, and it's off the top of my head. This kind of hit me, so let's think about it. So suppose you did an adventure. I mean, because all adventures are basically, from point A to point B to point C. You plan those out, and maybe the first part has 3 separate encounters, 3 separate ones. Like, we'll call them. So I don't want to call them A, B, and C, but that's not a. I want to make them all equal. So let's call them red, white, and blue. You can play red, white, or blue. It doesn't matter what you play. You can play either. Then you get to the middle adventures. And this will kind of be like what we did with Chronicles. You'll have 8 adventures that could play, every different way. And then on the back end, you have maybe, 3 more of the end piece, red, white, and blue. You can play them any way you want. So every adventure, you can play a different adventure. That's at my eyes. I rub my eyes. You can play a different adventure every time you play. I mean, you might start the same place. You might end in the same place. What happens in the middle, that could be a different thing. So to do something like that, drives me crazy, got stuff in my eye. To do something like that, I think could make an infinite idea of adventures. And I think if the themes can be kept the same, you can still have the same adventure. Because I mean, if you want to take a film-esque way to look at it, Hidden Fortress is Star Wars. If you don't know Hidden Fortress, that's got to have to put that in there too. One of these days, I'm gonna be smart and like get someone or hire someone to type this stuff while I talk about it, and they can go, "Oh, here you go," and then we can put the links in. So if you don't know, Hidden Fortress is the movie that inspired George Lucas to do Star Wars, and you can see a lot of inspiration in that film for Star Wars. But they're 2 different movies, but the ideas of the movies are somewhat similar. So you can work with them in that perspective. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's the focus. Maybe the focus stops being about doing actual adventures. It's the feel of the adventures. And you basically you give it a name. Like, this plus this equals that. This plus this equals that. This plus, and there's no true name, but we name it by, the lost caves of blank. I said the lost caves of blah, or the lost, and the back part tells you what it is. Temple of this, or da 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 da. It's kind of like a Mad Libs kind of way to do it. I mean, it could be interesting because you could really change up ideas and things. And we played this adventure and did this. When we played this adventure, we did this, and and then with the adventures in the middle, that kind of changes it up. This is an idea. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but I think this is an idea. I might have to talk to some people. Yeah, Alan, that's a very interesting way to look at it. It's archetypes for adventures. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be a great idea or a horrible idea or something just insane. Plus, I think it's you have to find a way to play the same. Like it's a bank heist. In the first one, your bank heist, you do X, Y, Z. In the second one, the bank heist, you do this. The third one, you could play in this one you're playing the hero. In this one we're playing the villain, and then there's something totally different. And those give different adventures. That's an idea. There's some ideas that kick around, but like I said, adventures have to change because fundamentally, people spend a lot of time developing adventures, but at the same time, it's like your players go do their best to wreck the great plans that you have planned. And other adventures, traditionally written are kind of like a railroad. You got to do this, you got to do that. So, is there a way to do a Sandbox Blender? Is that what I'd call it? Is there a way to do a Sandbox Blender concept? I'm writing it down. I'm gonna call it that. Maybe no one's ever thought of it, but I'm calling it something. Sandbox Blender concept. We'll call it that. If it becomes famous, you can, people can say, well, I thought of it first, but whatever. I think it's a pretty cool thing if we could do this. If we could find a way to do this. I think people would appreciate this. It is definitely an open world, but it's open world, but we're mixing it up even a crazier world. It's the infamous sandbox. That's an idea. So that's something to think about. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was that kind of informative get together. So if you're ever down here, see if you can get to it. You'll really find it enjoyable. I hope that more stores would do that. I think that would be a great idea. I know our buddies at Tate's talked about doing that for our comic book artists, have them come down for one day, do a big signing, do the whole thing, and do it on kind of a regular basis. I think that was a good idea. They've done it for a while. I think Jimmy Palmiotti was like one of the big guys that came down the last time I remember. But it's something I think that stores can do to get people interested in coming out. Because not only do we just play games, we also make games, and there's that aspect to it too. It can be really informative. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Adventure Blender. Yeah, Troy, that's a good name. I mean, it is something, I don't know what to call it. It's something. You start at X and then you end at P, and you don't end at Z, you end somewhere different. And it's not like 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 7, 4, 3, 9, 6, and like that. So everybody gets a different feeling from it. Things happen in different order. It has a different effect on your outcome. There's something interesting about that. There's something interesting that people could find useful. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know how this even does it correctly. I don't know how you'd even, correctly get this off the ground. But I'm sure someone smarter than me will probably figure it out. I'm just going to sit here and bang my head about it because it's fun for me to do. It keeps me off the streets. But it's a possibility. Scenario Mahjong. Oh, yeah, that's a good name. I like that. Okay, so all right, that's it for today. I've had a very, very, very lovely day. I'm feeling much better. Like I said, Lucas is feeling much better, and it's one of those kind of good things. It's good. It's good. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention since I just happened to see something. So the guys that came down, they also got the cool opportunity to go to Cuba for a day, which I thought was amazing. That's right, Americans in Cuba. Who knew? So they went down to Cuba. That's something I wanted to do. I was like, geez, I wish I could have done that. So that's one of those things. I'm going to figure out how to get down there myself. But it sounded like it was lots of fun. They seem to have a lot of fun. I think it'd be awesome. I just don't want to get trapped in Cuba because God knows I'd get caught in some kind of weird thing, and I'd be on the news, and someone would have to come get me. And I'm not going to lie. You better come get me if I get trapped in Cuba. I'm not fooling around. You better come get me. There better be some amnesty or something. Do what you guys do. I'm not built for prison life. That's not the life I'm looking to lead. All right. That's it for today. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to keep it very light, maybe. We might talk about some projects we're working on. We have two that one I finished up, one I'm waiting for art, and once that's done, we're going to release it. So it might be some work like that. And I'm also working on some other special stuff behind the scenes. Jeff Lee wrote something, of course, as I'm leaving. Make it a set amount of static items. Figure out how elements interact with each other. See, Jeff wants to give himself more work. Sounds kind of interesting. Jeff wants to give himself some more work. I'm going to have to make a phone call. That's a good idea. Interesting. Like I said, interesting concept. All right, everybody, you have a good day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.